Hello, my name is John, and today on Mono Story we're going to be talking about Imu's Devil Fruit. So let's get into it and find out what it's all about.
イム様、皆様がお揃いに。
Imu was born during the Void Century. He has lived for roughly 800 years and has even fought against Joy Boy. He is the current king of the world, being the leader of the world government, and because of this lives in Mary Joie. He is also feared by a lot of different people. Now, currently, as of recording this video, Imu has gone to Elbaf during the Elbaf arc and is trying to stop both Loki and Luffy. And as we finally got his reveal of what he looks like, we are mentioned with the fact that he does have a devil fruit. However, it is not classified as what kind of devil fruit it is, as well as the ability that he has. Which begs the question, what kind of devil fruit is he using, and is it something that is really powerful to the point where both Loki and Luffy will be unable to stop it? Now, when we talk about devil fruits, we first need to mention the three classifications of the types of devil fruits that exist in the One Piece world. And as of now, there are three different types. They are Paramecia, Zoan, and a Logia fruit. Now, upon analysis, I can first clearly take out a Paramecia fruit being used by Imu, as his body is not showing any form of man-made substance being produced, as well as a change in matter. For example, in the case of Doflamingo, who is using a Paramecia fruit, he is producing the Ititonomi, or the string fruit, as well as Magellan, who is producing the poison from his body using the Dokudokunomi, or the venom fruit. So that now just leaves two different fruits, a Logia and a Zoan, and it is very hard to tell if he is using a Logia, because whenever Luffy attacks Imu, he is going to use Haki, and the only way to physically hit a Logia fruit user is by using Haki. So it is very hard to see if Imu is using a Logia fruit, because we are unable to see when he takes damage what the outline of that damage is. In the case of a Logia fruit, if an individual with one of these fruits is harmed or hurt in the process, their body will show where the affliction has occurred with an outline of that devil fruit, whether it be fire or light or another Logia fruit's abilities being used by the user. However, that only leaves us with a Zoan fruit, which we have evidence to potentially prove that Imu is using a Zoan fruit. And this is when we see Sabor saving the king of Alabasta. And in that moment, we see the king talking to Imu. And in that attack that Imu does on the king, he uses his body, which has not only changed, but is in a unique style that is only available to Imu, meaning that in order for Imu to use his abilities, he must have changed his state or being, which is the best reference we have for Imu using a Zoan fruit, because in the case of Luffy, which we have as a reference point, the first time we saw him using a Zoan type of fruit was his Gear 4. Before that, Gear 3 and Gear 2, he only extended his body and expanded it, as well as going red through an increase in speed on his body by moving his body in a faster capabilities and capacities. And therefore we can use this logic to be applied to Imu and his ability to use his devil fruit. However, we cannot confirm Imu's race, and therefore we are unsure if Imu's race is playing a part in the way he is perceived and seen by other people, whether it be his horns or his tail. These are changing and qualitative factors that may contribute to the type of devil fruit that Imu is using. Now that we understand that Imu is using a Zoan devil fruit, what is its abilities? And the first thing we need to understand is that he is in a human-like form, meaning that we can make the assumption he's using another Hito no Mi, or a human fruit, just like Chopper, Sengoku, and Luffy. Therefore, he would be using a specific type of fruit, just like in the case of Luffy using the Hito no Mi model Nika. So, from what we have seen, Imu can change the state of certain things, making them laugh like they are possessed. And as well as that, he is able to use the ability known as Domi Reversi, which affects a person's soul. And he's also able to make a covenant contract, which is one of the contracts in which you obtain supernatural powers, and in return you give up your soul to Imu, and at any point Imu can take control of you, as we saw with both King Harold and Gunko. And in the best way I can think about it, it seems similar to the way that Big Mum uses her devil fruit, the soul fruit, because in the case of Imu giving life to some of these lifeless objects, it is very similar to how Big Mum will put a soul from a human or another living being and create a inanimate object to have life, which gives even more evidence that Imu's abilities are directly connected to the soul or life of an individual, meaning that his model, if it is the case he is using a Zoan fruit, would be something along those lines. And in my opinion, I only see a few aspects where the transformation plus the use of a soul would be possible, and that is the model devil, succubus, or demon. And this is because of the style of the transformation, in which Imu has not only black wings, horns, but also a tail, indicating he is some sort of transformation that is not of this world, but one of the gods.
ネフェルタリ・ディ・リリー頼んだぞ頼んだぞサボ君
Imu is one of the strongest beings in the One Piece universe. His devil fruit has yet to be revealed, but based on the information, it does seem like he has a Zoan type devil fruit, specializing in affecting the soul. Regardless of what it is, if Luffy does not find a way to stop Imu at this point, or at least weaken him, then we are going to see a repeat of what happened 800 years ago with Joy Boy. But instead of Joy Boy, it will be Luffy who will be at the bottom of the ocean. But that is my thoughts on Imu's devil fruit. I want to hear what you think about Imu's devil fruit. Is it a Zoan fruit? Is it a Logia fruit? Is it a Paramecium? What power or ability do you think it has? So please tell me in the comment section below. My name is John from Mono Story. If you haven't already liked, subscribed, and pressed the bell button, please do so. And until next time, I will see you on another Mono Story.